ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। Reading from Gita, chapter number 2, section number 20. न जायते म्रियते वा कदाचित् नायं भूत्वा भविता वा न भूयात्। ज्योतित्या शाश्वतोऽयं पुराणो न हन्यते हन्यमाने सति। Translation purpose given by Srivan Guru Bhakti and Srila Prabhupada. For the soul, there is neither birth nor death at any time. He has not come into being, he has not come into being. He will not come into being. He is unborn, eternal, ever existing, and universal. He is not slain when the body is slain. Purport. Qualitatively, the small atomic fragmental part of the Supreme Spirit is one with the Supreme. He undergoes no changes like the body. Sometimes the soul is called stari or hutastha. The body is subject to 6 kinds of transformations. It takes its birth from the womb of mother's body, remains for some time, grows, produces some effects, remains for some time, grows, produces some effects, gradually dwindles, and at last vanishes into oblivion. The soul, however, does not go through such changes. The soul is not born, but because he takes on a material body, the body takes its birth. The soul does not take birth there, and the soul does not die. Anything which has birth also has death. And because the soul has no birth, it therefore has no past, present, or future. He is eternal, ever existing, and primeval. That is, there is no trace in the history of his coming into the world. Under the impression of the body, we seek the history of the birth, etc., of the soul. The soul does not at any time become old, as the body does. The so-called old one therefore feels himself to be in the same spirit as in his childhood or youth. The changes of the body do not affect the soul. The soul does not deteriorate like a tree or anything material. The soul has no byproduct either. The byproducts of the body, namely children, are also different individual souls. And owing to the body, they appear as children of a particular man. The body develops because of the soul's presence, but the soul has neither offshoots nor change. Therefore, the soul is free from the 6 changes of the body. Hare Krishna. Om Jnanatimirandasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Mena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Tadanyam Nadati Swapadantikam Avanchakalpatarobhyasya Kripa Sindhubhya Eva Cha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Dvaita Shiva Shri Gaura Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Mukam Karoti Vachalam Pangam Gangayate Vitkripa Tamaham Bande Shri Guru Dinatarinam. Hare Krishna. Dear devotees, can you hear me okay? Hare
Yes, Prabhuji.
Hare. So, thank you. Actually, this world is a place where it is very, uh, it amazes. It is very Australia. Why it is Australia is when a child is born, the parents actually they're very joyful seeing the child. They see the child, they say, you know what? This is my eyes. The father is telling the mother. Then the mother is telling, you know what? The nose is mine. You know what? The hair exactly matches my mother. The height seems to be my father. And they started praying or praising. We pray to the Lord Almighty, Lord, thank you so much for giving this child. Oh, this is very beautiful. This is so wonderful. This is my child. That means what are they saying? They're saying what they can see. What is this indicating? I'm not saying that is wrong or I'm not saying that what they are seeing is incorrect. Yes, based on their given circumstances, that is right. On one level, that is right. Yes, he might see the boy, the child might have the eyes of the father. It's natural. The boy might have the body or the face of the mother. That's natural. There's no there's no problem in that. But the biggest problem where it comes is we get absorbed in those things so much so that what is the real thing is totally missed. This is the amazement. That means the Prakriti, they devotees, we are Tatastha. That means the Jiva is the Tatastha. He lives, he stays in the Tatastha Shakti, which is the marginal energy. And then through this marginal energy, the Jiva, through his association, will take the shelter of the internal energy or will take the shelter of external energy. Now today afternoon also we are discussing about this. Okay, if the Jiva is marginal and it can stay in the internal energy or in the external energy, then no doubt we know, if we are trained up in the science of Krishna consciousness, we know that we need to stay in the internal energy of the Lord. Then why are we dejected or rejected and then tend to fall away and stay in the external energy of the Lord? Why do we do like that? It's a question to be assessed. Why the Jiva, he knows he has to stay in the internal energy, but he doesn't want to stay there, he wants to stay in the external energy. Why the Jiva is so much absorbed in this world, the so-called things of this world? The Jiva is looking for temporary solutions only. Why the Jiva doesn't look for a permanent solution? See, we give the parents they give so much importance to that body. They take care of that body very nicely, but they have no idea that the body is doing by something else. That is what Srila Prabhupada is mentioning here. Krishna is mentioning here. Ajayate mriyate va kadachana nayam bhutva bhavit na bhuyah ajo nityam Ajo Nitya. That means the soul is Ajo, is Nitya. Aja is unborn. Nitya is Nitya means what? Eternal. Shashvato means permanent. Yam Purano. Purano means is the oldest. Na hanyate hanyamane sharire. Na hanyate means the soul cannot be killed. Hanyamane sharire. That means Hanyamane means being killed. Who is that being killed? Sharire. Hanyamane sharire. A few days back also we were discussing about this. Oh, you're not this body but a spirit soul. So let me go and kill all the people in this world. Is that correct? Correct statement? No. Stating that, oh, the soul cannot be killed, cannot be burned. If somebody comes and catches, if they come and catch us, then if we tell them to them, if we tell this to them, will they leave us? They will not leave. Oh, no doubt, soul might be permanent, soul might be uh, eternal, nityo, ajo nityo, shashwatoyam purano. It might be ajo nityo, shashwatoyam purano, but still, the person with that particular body has an attachment to so many family members here. You conflicted, inflicted pain to all of those personalities. That means what you did is a problem. You went through a problem, went through a situation or circumstances that caused a deep philosophical understanding. It is showing very clearly that this is a real problem. What is a real problem? We cannot do anything of those lines. Also, another important aspect to understand is when the soul is permanent, if you actually see, our thoughts are also permanent. Now, let me tell you an example. How our thoughts are permanent. You study engineering, bachelor's. Why? To get a job. Why you want to get a job? You want to permanently live a happy life through that job because you'll be getting some earnings, you'll be getting some salary. Yes, correct. That is what is the understanding. Is that not a permanent understanding? Yes, yes. I will be staying here, and that is also one of the reasons why we purchase homes also because we want to stay here permanently in that home. Does anyone in this world buy a home thinking that he will die? No, nobody will buy a home like that. Everyone in this world they buy homes through other perspective, through other understanding. What is that other understanding? That other understanding that I will stay here forever. Do we see? Does anyone think about death? Nobody will think about death because every time that the moment that word is being brought, people either change the topic or they go away from that place. There are two reasons. People are either fearful or people they do not want to go into that realm. Why they don't want to go into that realm? Because they think that they are eternal. Please understand this. Nobody thinks that I'm temporary. Actually, in Krishna, after coming to Krishna consciousness also, we don't proclaim ourselves as temporary. We are permanent. We are part and parcel of the world. We are spirit souls. The whole idea of training and picturization here in this world is to finish off Krishna consciousness in this very lifetime only, rather than going into some other places. Please understand that. Bhakti is that only. What is bhakti? Trying to realize that what we are. That is the whole point. We don't want to dwell too much on the bodily consciousness because we are not that. For example, If we begin dwelling on the bodily consciousness, what is the problem? What is the problem? I'll tell you. The body goes through six changes. It comes out of the mother's womb, grows, produces some effect, dwindles, at last vanishes into oblivion. That means there are different changes of the body. Comes out of the mother's womb, grows, grows further. He'll be in a position to produce offsprings, grows further, dwindles, gradually deteriorate, and then this is a natural rate of a human being. Not just a human being, every living entity. When the sadhaka is connected to the bodily consciousness and then is attached to this body, then what happens is when this body is about to leave or the body is going through difficulties, he cannot connect that to his real identity because he is seeing through an imperfect state. That imperfect state is what? Bodily consciousness. Now, through that bodily state, what is he doing? He is slowly thinking, not thinking, he is convinced that he is that body only. That is the whole point you want to take the bodily association. Please understand this. There's a reason of taking bodily association. That's why this subject is little difficult to understand. That's why unless and until one develops a relationship, he cannot pursue this truth. Dear devotees, this is what is happening. Devotees, they get connected to the process, they hear, and they try to apply. They cannot apply in the right way. And then what happens is, slowly, they will, their taste towards the process of hearing will be vanished. Because they are unable to correlate to anything. Because all the correlation is happening with money. That's what it is happening. That's why you see all new devotees coming. You don't see the old devotees. The old devotees only say they have something, they have been given something. Because they have to, somewhere or the other, they have to take some shelter. If the shelter is not there, it is very difficult to continue this process. Because what does this bodily consciousness or this bodily absorption does? The bodily absorption will keep us in this bodily plane only. Can never enhance or put us into the other state. It will never allow us to surrender to the process of visualizations. And without surrender, there is no question of devotion. Here in the shloka, Lord is very clearly mentioning, Na hanyate hanyamane sharira, na jayate miyate va kadachit, ajo nityo shashvatoyam purano. Let me tell you something. This happened last week. When I used to live in Kavali a few months back, our neighbor, she had a big home. That home was full of trees, everything is covered. The trees are so much so that there's a place of monkeys, there's a place of so many living entities. And you know, in the whole building, only she lives. There's a couple of tenants who are in the back, in the back side of the home. Now, all of a sudden, she fell down last week. She's like 70 or 70. She's like 70. She fell down, and then they took her to Nellore for hospital. And then doctor said that, it's a, it's an injury. So they took her to back. So they took her back to Nellore. And she said, no, I cannot stay here. I want to go to my home. Then she went to her home. The next day she went to home. Oh, why am I telling this? Is she was so much connected to that home. Her husband, her yes, children, two children, two sons and a daughter. I think three. They all stayed different parts. Some in Hyderabad, some in Bangalore. So she stays alone. She couldn't. She couldn't stay without that home. She said, please take me to that. And she's so connected to that home. She had to stay there. I was just thinking about the situation today over this. If we are connected to Guru, Sadhu, and Shastra like that, how the lady has connected to that home, we would have made a lot of progress in Krishna. Just like that Mataji, she's connected to that home. She says, no, no, I don't want kids, I don't want my sons, I don't want this, that, so many other things. You just take me to my home. No doubt that attachment to the home is material, but through that also we can learn. We can learn Krishna consciousness through so many ways and means. So that Mataji, she left her body in the middle of the night in that particular home. Now, up until she was there, nobody was touching the home. Now the children are telling, let us demolish this home and then construct a huge apartment. So a lot of space, a huge home. Because all the trees will go, everything will be gone. The huge apartment will come. Do you think that the person who is actually left will be happy with that thing? She would never be happy with it. That means what would happen? She would wander around that place. If she's attached to that. That means attachment is very powerful. Yes, we are devotees. Do you think attachment is very powerful? Yes, it is very, very powerful. So whatever we are attached to that, we get that. For example, if I am attached to that particular home, while quitting that body, I'm remembering those all of those things. Where did I stay? Where did I live with my husband? Where did I fed my husband? What did I do with my husband? What did I do with my family? All of those things I'm remembering. I'm not saying that is bad. I'm saying that is the state. There are different states they are devoted, different consciousness levels they are devoted. So through that consciousness, she would remove Antakale cha Maneva Smaran Mukta Kale यं यं वापि स्मरं भावं भजन्तन्ते कलेवरं तं तमेवैति कौन्तेय सदा तद्भावभावितः. So this Mataji, she was actually, for example, if the soul is remembering that particular home or that particular thing, whatever is remembering at the time of that, he'll get a body similar to that along with his remembrance. This is how merciful the Lord is. And when Srila Prabhupada is telling about this, it is a very clear indication to all of us that how important it is to develop good consciousness now itself. Because we cannot develop consciousness at the time of death. We are and they are devotees, please understand. Now, one time when we were discussing about this, the devotee was telling, oh Prabhu, ये अच्छा है ना? This is good. अंतकाली च ना? At the time of death, na, I need to remember Krishna, or I need to remember his devotees at the time of death only. So now I can do whatever I want to do. That means I can invest my consciousness wherever I want to invest. Only at the time of death only I have to remember them. I have to remember the Lord. I can do that. What is this? That means he wants to enjoy this so-called world and still he wants to go back home. Is that possible? That means the mentality to enjoy this world is remaining in the consciousness, and we still want to remember the Lord at the time of death. That means we are using this process kind of an insurance policy. It's like an insurance policy. When the person leaves, whoever are there as a nominee, they will get all the money. So if the person is actually paying his premium for that, when I quit, this thing will be given to me. Nominee. You seen that? So these things are when we actually think about this. Is it really favorable for us? For example, there's a there's a frog story which Srila Prabhupada narrates. I remember my spiritual master sharing beautiful realizations through all of those through that pastime. Now let me quickly tell that pastor so that we understand what we are actually dealing or discussing. The the activity goes like this. How is the activity going like? There is a frog. The Prophet calls it as Dr. Frog. So this frog has a tendency, has a nature. What is that nature? Unless and until he sees something, he doesn't accept. And given that seeing also, it's not like a seeing through humility, but the seeing is through arrogance. That means if I have the conception of arrogance in my consciousness, then what is happening is I would be expecting proofs, so many other things, to actually believe or understand what that person is actually telling. Please understand. Now, can I believe anyone just like that? No, no. See, after understanding that person is really genuine, then you shouldn't judge. Then you shouldn't continue thinking whether this is right, that is right. No. Before that you can do, but after that you cannot. Isn't it? So our questioning, reasoning, and understanding, the frog is in the well. Now another frog comes to that well. That frog came from Pacific Ocean. And the frog is telling this frog, you know what, how many days you will stay in this well? I'll take you to a bigger place where you'll experience more water. Your vision will be changed totally. You come, I'll take you. That means what is happening? Another frog is giving the new vision or perspective, new understanding. But what is this frog doing? Is this frog accepting that understanding? No. What is this frog telling? That frog is trying, that frog first begin to tell that, no, there is nothing like other than this. This is everything in this. Don't we see this attitude in us? What is that attitude? There is nothing like this. This is the only thing which I have. Even in the so-called religionists, they also proclaim like this. Some people they say, if you don't follow our religion, you'll go to hell. That means they're convinced that if they don't accept this, then they will rot in the hellish flames. That means even if the person is a pious person, still, if he did not accept that religion, then he has to suffer. Oh, what kind of father is that? Oh, what kind of religion is that? That means if I don't accept something, I have to go to hell forever. What kind of process is that? Is the Lord so ruthless? But we proclaim the Lord as a father. No, I don't see the nature of the father like that. then how these personalities are telling if you don't follow our religion, you'll go to hell? Is this not a frog mentality? It is. That means this is this not is this what Srila Prabhupada is mentioning us? This is not what we want to cultivate to Krishna consciousness. Krishna consciousness process is a bona fide authorized process. And this process helps us to alleviate our consciousness, not to degrade or put our consciousness down. This kama, krodha, lobha, moha, mada, etc. Also called pride. Is this not pride? That if you don't follow our religion, you go to hell. That means even in religion also this pride is there. Isn't it? Moha is illusion. Is this not the pride is also illusion? Because what is the real pride? Because the person doesn't understand what is the real pride. Real pride is I'm the servant of Krishna is my master and a servant. This is a pride, but this pride is true pride. This is transcendental. This is not the pride which is mixed with anarthas in this one. This is true pride. Neela Govinda Das. It's a Das. What is the Das at the end? It's a pride. That one is the servant of the servant of the servant. Gopi Bhattar Padakamaya Dasa Dasa. Dasa Dasana Dasa. Gopi Bhattar Padakamaya. Oh my dear Lord, I'm the servant of the servant of the servant of your dear servant. The gopis who are very dear to you. And not directly their servants, I'm the servants of their servants. That means when we become the servants of our spiritual master, then the servant towards our supreme master is new. But when we don't accept that process through the authorization, then it's a problem. Then it's a problem which will actually keep us in a difficult state because we don't really know who we are. That means the frog is actually telling that this well is everything for me. That means there is no well outside this well. There is no water actually outside this. Why is that true? Do you all think in the class that the perception with the frog is carrying is correct consciousness? No, it is not correct because we have seen the other things. No, for us the frog seems to be in incorrect consciousness, but for Vaishnavas, for pure souls, for Devi Devatas, for them, we are like that because we are filled with mother and Mother. Pride and illusion. What is this pride illusion doing? This pride illusion actually keep us away from it. But the true compassion, true genuinity, genuine process of accepting Krishna consciousness, following pure devotional service, if we follow that, if we do that, then all of these things will go. They will not stay dear devotees. But further, we need to practice pure devotion. Further, we need to get up in the morning, we need to do Shavana, we need to do our Kirtana, we need to discuss, we need to do our services, we need to take care of our family, children, all of these things. Everything has to be done. Cannot avoid anything. Now, this we need to understand. Please understand this is very important. Prabhupada very beautifully explaining us that the frog is in that particular state, it is telling that it doesn't have any perception outside that well. And it is if the frog has seen it, he would accept, oh, really? Clear Pacific Ocean? Then it would ask how big the Pacific Ocean is. Then the other frog would have told, no, you cannot perceive how big this is. So big. Oh, it's so big. The person is really genuinely accepting his words, then he will tell you, can you please take me to the coast? so that I will also join you. Is called the symbol. But for this to happen, one should leave the pride. One should leave the illusion. Now we don't really know that we are in illusion. That is another illusion. We don't know actually we are in illusion. But we lead our life, not life after life. We lead an illusion on temporary state. But we have permanent plans in this temporary state. In this temporary body, you have permanent plans. What should I do here? What should I do there? How should I do this? How should I do that? What should I cultivate? What should I not cultivate? That's why people are not interested to hear or develop pure devotion, to develop that consciousness, but they are interested towards just the leelas of the Lord. Because in the leelas of the Lord, what is happening? The leelas are told. Oh, Krishna had lifted Govardhan hill. Krishna had killed Putana. Krishna had done that service. Krishna has done this. Krishna had run behind Mother Yashoda. These are all very wonderful, actually, beautiful leelas. But if we don't address our consciousness, or if you are not free from all these worldly conception, or if you are not free from all these anarthas, if you are not, or if we do not come to the state of pure devotion and surrender and submit ourselves completely, depending completely on the mercy of the Lord, until that point of time we can never understand. So that thing has to be achieved. These leelas are not just leelas, but they are the gateways to the spiritual world. They become the gateways to the spiritual world when all of these arthas are removed, sanctified from our heart. Totally. That means we come to the state of Anya Abhilashta. Manasa Dev जो कुछ मोर अर्पिलो तो पदे नंदे किशोर. Oh my dear Lord, please help me. My mind, my body, my intelligence, everything belongs to you. This state only comes when a person is genuinely, humbly accepting or understanding the truth and submitting to one's consciousness, submitting his heart over there, then trying to make progress. For them, it's, it is a good process. But for the mentality of the doctor, for people never understand. Why? Because it is actually speculating. Because through pride, what happens? Speculation comes. Through pride, what is happening? Speculation comes. How is this speculation? Exactly what the fog is telling. Oh, you know what? How big is this? How big is this Pacific Ocean? Is this one time bigger, two times bigger, three times bigger, 10 times bigger? He's actually comparing it to his own thing only. This is what exactly happens. When you take to Krishna consciousness, you don't accept as is what the Acharyas are telling. We bring that Krishna consciousness to our realm, to our. So bringing Krishna consciousness to our thing, is that right? That's definitely not right. Why? Because when we bring Krishna consciousness to our plane, what happens is we are reducing the effect or the impact which Krishna consciousness can bring into our life when we take it as it is. It is a whole point Srila Prabhupada named this book as Bhagavad Gita as it is. It's not like Bhagavad Gita. It's not like Srila Prabhupada has written Bhagavad Gita in 1950 or something like that. So this thing we need to understand. What is that daily notice? What is our mission? The doctor Frog is actually telling him he's not accepting the words of the other person. Just like the conditioned soul will never accept the words of the spiritual master because he is in his own world. His world is totally different. His vision is totally different. His perception, his seeing things is totally different. Perceptions are everything in the world. Through perceptions, you be fearful or be fearless. Everything is imperfect. If somebody is not giving attention, there is a chance of drifting away. If somebody is giving more attention, there is a chance of trying to find. So what should be done? Should the association be given or not given? If the association is more given, there is a chance of trying to find faults. If the association is not given, then there is a little chance of not taking the sense of Krishna consciousness. That means if Krishna consciousness is not taken, what is the problem? If Krishna consciousness is not taken, then what is the problem? Entire life is problem. Now you can say, no, I did not went through problems, but now the whatever we have like today, that will give that those actions will give problems to you. Not today, it will give tomorrow. Tomorrow you might be happy, but the problems will come tomorrow if you are not actually utilizing the time as is. This is I'm talking to myself very important because how the time has to be utilized, you should know. Getting up early, chatting around, hearing the class, after that going to the school, trying to do some services, come back, take lunch, go back again, finish off, and then come back. So these things, and we really understand everything is going just like a sun is actually rising in the east, setting in the west. Moon rising one place and then setting in the other place. So this is very good. When the frog mentality is corrected, then real wealth, real joy of Krishna consciousness. Let's say, for example, the frog accepted the words of the other frog. What happens? The frog would have seen consequences. That means the real thing, the frog was trying to show him the real thing. Because passive question can never be dried up. The well can be dried up. But when the spiritual master is trying to give us something, trying to give us a process, trying to give us some faith, trying to give us conviction. Because the advertisement that Krishna consciousness is taken, if the person is fully trained up and his faith is so deep, then his taking up the process is totally different compared to a person who doesn't have faith. That means even that faith is also given to by mercy. But what am I trying to show is a devotee has received the mercy, devotee has not received the mercy. See the gulf of difference. Devotee has received the mercy through his submission, through his attempt, through his service attitude. But the other devotee, he is also there, but he never did. The moment we understand that, it gets the clear understanding that we should actually work to get mercy in this. And this cannot be done through Mother Vatsala. Through arrogance and pride, this cannot be done. So problem there was, please understand how these anarthas have to be curbed slowly because until these anarthas are curbed, chanting पे रुचि नहीं आएगा. You cannot chant Hare Krishna more sincerely. You should get out of these anarthas. Ways to get out of these anarthas, what we need to do, we need to cultivate divine qualities. We need to cultivate the qualities which the Lord is actually telling us. No doubt we might not be qualified to receive any of those things, but we should pray to the Lord Almighty Allah, please help so that I can serve nicely. And this is going as an important aspect. But in Mother Vatsala is very sweet because it is subtly developed, we cannot see. Just like we cannot see soul, can we see Mother Vatsala? No, we cannot see. Now, through their actions, one can understand what that is, but really they cannot see. Really, we cannot see. Because this entire thing is given to the mercy. They know this our birth, is it not mercy? Growing of the body, because not every body will grow, some body will deformative things within the body. We might not do. But that Madhamatsara, which is actually is the moment we follow the truth as is, Madhamatsara will not stay. And through that understanding, there's no question of speculation also. Because speculation comes to pride. Speculation, how the speculation comes? It comes through pride. Nothing else has longevity here. This is the only thing which has longevity. These are very important. Please understand this. It's not something hodgepodge. It's not something I have some time, let me hear. It's not something I don't have time, I cannot hear. No, it's not like that. It's a great opportunity for us to be observed. So through that, Krishna is telling about the, Prabhupada is mentioning about the nature of this body. The soul goes through the body, stays within the body, and then the body goes through the six different changes, taking the shelter of the mother's womb, coming outside the mother's womb, growing, providing offspring, trying to stay away, which is another state. Difference. This state is before old age and after young age, after middle age, that stage. And then eventually body deteriorates and it dwindles. But through this process of evolution of the body, the soul is not changed. Soul is actually watching, soul is actually observing, soul is thinking that I'm this. This is the whole point why the soul laments. You know why the soul laments? The soul is lamenting because the soul is actually thinking that this is what I am. One second, one second. The soul is completely convinced that I'm this only. So this is a problem. So when we see this as a problem, whoever is actually seeing this as a problem, they will try to produce it. So this is a problem because the body is so much absorbed in his activities. He never understands who he is. Because he's seeing the changes also. The moment he begins seeing the changes, as a soul is eternal, the soul cannot take that. Because he's thinking that he's that. He's thinking that that is his spiritual body. In a perverted way, he's thinking that this body is with me forever. Though through that reason, the body becomes, when body dwindles, the soul cannot accept. Oh, we can't even imagine what he will go through in that. Because the body is dwindling. So if we actually see who is going through difficulty, this what difficulty I put. A lot of difficulty, so many problems, lot of problems. This I cannot take. Is that not a problem? It's a big, hmm. You don't understand this. You don't try to perceive this in the right way. Do this only way. But let's take the other side. Let's say the soul has actually is realized. The soul has realized his real natural identity. Then when he will he never, he will never, because he understands. This is a part of process. I'm changing, I'm moving, I'll continue my journey to my next step, to my next assignment. This assignment is completed. We'll carry forward the next step. And then move forward. This is life. That's what Prabhupada is mentioning. Prabhupada is very clearly telling that our real understanding is this. What is the real understanding? The soul never deteriorates. It stays continuously, doesn't diminish. Even after leaving the body, it will stay. He will go to his next destination. If he is a pious person, he will go to heavenly planets and enjoy his pious visits. If he is an impious person, he will go to the hellish planets to suffer for his sinful activities. He is a devotee, completely realized everything. And then he is an ordained servant. He wants to serve. And the devotee has realized his natural identity, then he go back home with the action. यहाँ हन्यते अन्यनाम शरीरे With this process, so when we see our Acharyas life, they dealt their life like this continuously. Their entire life was like this. They led their life like this. This is what see. We don't see to aspire something which we don't physically see. So, but if you begin doing it, if you begin serving, if you begin taking the concept on and seriously, then following, when you want to hear more, read, hurry, this okay. And then would like to add anything, any questions, would like to share anything? Friends,
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, please accept my humble obeisances, Prabhu. All to Srila Prabhupada. Am I audible clear, Prabhu?
yes, Samantha.
Okay, thank you so much. Prabhu, thank you so very much, Prabhuji. If you try to recall, I always had this question on eternity, which, which you answered it in the past as well, in the previous classes as well. Mm, um, kind of related to the soul, or everything in Krishna consciousness is related to the soul only, right? So I always had a question, or always constantly have this question about the soul, on how exactly is it eternal, that eternity, and so forth. But you gave you very clearly explained, Prabhu, very clearly explain on how the impressions, um, the attachments, the impressions become attachments, and then those attachments to the soul will bring the soul back to choose the body. It's straightforward, simple statement. However, there's lot of depth in it, unless we really absorb, as you said, absorb in the consciousness on where it's going, where it's moving. And then when the test comes, at that moment, when the test comes, uh, checking the consciousness and sometimes staying calm, like without any response also, is good, right, Prabhu?
Because
Um,
rather than disturbing them, rather than spoiling the situation, staying calm is, is good, better than using any harsh words.
mm,
Yes, staying calm is better than using any of the harsh words, for sure. Disturbing the state. Or not only that, for example, if we do not have any clarity on anything at any moment, we should stay calm. I do not have it. Should stay calm. So when we do like that, what happens is, or we can say like this also. See, I don't know what some people. If you know, you can help. That's also a good way of expressing.
mm,
Because we need to understand, we're just humans. We don't know everything. We don't know everything. Nobody knows. Nobody in this world knows everything. Only the Lord knows everything. Only the representatives. If the Lord empowers that person, he knows. And that also, how much ever what Lord wants to know him, he'll know that. So no one completely knows everything. No, when we have this man, we genuinely accept the situation and then move forward. Listen, you're speaking with me.
yes, Prabhu, your voice. Apologize, Prabhu. Your voice is a little bit mumble. If you can,
Okay, how about now?
much better, Prabhu. Thank you so much.
Okay. Yes.
One. Thank you, Prabhuji. Thank you for confirming the attitude on what it should be. And after being silent, observing the silence and observing the um, next sequence of situations is also very important to realize. I'm just realizing sometimes it to realize on how magic that Krishna does through his external energy, Prakriti. So knowing that exists, knowing, observing when the test comes and observing the mercy of the Lord, which follows the test, is is um, is very beautiful, Prabhu. Not all the times that it happens, but I just wanted to share on how and as you always say that observance is given by is will get to know about that observance only if we from the Shravana as a gift given from the spiritual master in the classes. Only through that Shravana, Krishna will remind at that point when the test comes. Right, Prabhu? Is my understanding correct?
So however we are actually doing, that's how we get the results. And whatever we are doing, if it is done through the Guru Sadhu Shastra, then that is a perfect understanding. Just like Dr. Frog, if he accepts what the other frog is coming and tell, what he's coming and tell, what he comes and he's telling, then that is a real acceptance. If he accepts to those words. If he doesn't feel the relation, if he doesn't accept, that is another story. then the Lord has to figure out another way and me to pull out the string. So the soul is not in a position to accept. So it depends on the arrogance. How much arrogance we have, that much time we have to ask it. How much attachment we have, that much time we have to spend our time here. How much ever we are thinking that this is not right, that is not right, why this is like this, why that is like this. अरे आज एक ही सब्जी बनाया they should have done three more people. They should have given that, they should have given that. Oh, they should have given me this position, they should have given me that position. Or I should have become the temple president. I could have become this or that or so and so thing. That means if I'm expecting those things as part of my Krishna conscious journey, then your journey will be very vast. It will be very vast. No one can save you if you have that attitude. So the journey will become long. So to your point, when we observe those things, later on, the mercy of the Lord will get an opportunity to see the mercy of the Lord. Yes, because what we did not react. We just waited. We didn't even respond. We just waited to see the mercy. Just like Jadabharat, when he was there in front of Kalika Upasakas, where he was being brought by the followers of Mother Kali to do bali, to kill the human being. He was there. Now he's not telling, oh, Prabhu, please don't take me. I'm a devotee. Please don't take me. Krishna is there. He will take care of you. Please don't. Please don't take me. I'm a devotee. You see, I'm chanting. You see, I have Kantimala. He's not telling anyone this. So you can do whatever you want. He didn't even tell that. He just kept quiet. He's just observing. Later on, the mercy of the Lord came through Mother Kali. She killed everyone. And to be most fascinating portion is he is not appreciating her after that. Oh, because of you, I did share and whatever. Thank you so much. If you are not there, my life would have ruined. This is not seeing anything from that perspective. Please understand why is he not reciprocating like that? Why is he not speaking like that? Because that is not there in his consciousness. Please understand. He says, Krishna, whatever you want, you can do it to me. You can do to me. I'm ready to take any position. Manasa deha deha jo kichu mo arpino tua you can do whatever you want. This is actually a good position. Whether this position or not. In this position, you don't love this person or she does not she don't love this position. But their love is natural. We don't love our acharyas because through them we have received so much. We love them. But we see they have already given us so much. Conviction in the faith, conviction in the process, seeing the presence of the Lord. Is that not the greatest achievement? It is the greatest achievement. Nobody wants this achievement. Everyone wants external achievements. Did I got the mission? Did I went through that? Did I did that? Did I did this? No, as part of the process, there's a need. If there are opportunities, that will also happen. But the ultimate thing is, ultimate thing is to develop the faith and connection, seeing the presence of God. That is what Srila Prabhupada has done. He said, no matter Lord, my ideal Father, you can put me in any situation. But always give me an opportunity so that I can remember always the presence of God. So that I always Remember that I'm the servant of the servant of the servant. Often think, do you see that there are those kind of things? You don't see. But the problem is, when we forget this consciousness, we tend to go into the number game. That number game will not happen. Number is prepared. It doesn't mean that we don't serve. We serve. We serve to the best of our ability. Whatever number Lord wants to give, whatever service we grant, that will hurry.
Thank you so
Anything
very
else?
much, Prabhu. Prabhu, eventually, I would like to hear more about how to be just like a sakshi, uh, just like a sakshi in situations. There will be many situations in our life where we have to just to be a sakshi. Um, so I just want to hear from you more when there's time later, Prabhuji. Thank you so very much.
Thank you. I see devotees not joining today.
Prabhu, there is what is it called? Sadhu Sangha in New
Oh, they are.
Orleans. Yeah, this weekend, Memorial Day weekend, Sadhu Sangha at New Orleans Temple. Not temple, sorry, location.
Tampa, right? Somewhere. It's Florida.
Yeah, New Orleans, near New Talawan Temple.
Okay.
Yeah, so they'll be back on Tuesday, most likely, most of them, Tuesday morning class.
All right. Thank you very much. Srila Prabhupada.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Thank you so very much. Thank you all. Srila Prabhupada ki jai.